What's up, everybody? Aaron with Why We Love Horror, and Aaron Unwinds back with another letter in the alphabet challenge here on Aaron Unwinds. We're going through all the letters A to Z. We're on to G this week, and we don't count the because we don't count the. So we're on to The Gate from 1987. This is a really great. I'll get it out of the way right away. Gateway horror movie. Get out the way right away. It's a PG-13 from the 80s, so it's a little different than PG-13 today, I feel like, where it was like actually just made and happened to be, a little more edgy than like a PG movie, but also not quite, getting into like even like Poltergeist territory. It's like right in between like Poltergeist and Gremlins. I feel like you have The Gate, starring a debuting Stephen Dorff of Divinity. That Stephen Dorff. Go watch Divinity, everybody. I swear it exists. I saw it in the theater by myself. But back to The Gate. Tibor Takis. I was not familiar with him or this movie really prior. Pretty simple, premise to the movie. Two kids are, left at home, alone by their parents for some reason. I don't really remember what. They accidentally unleash a horde of stop-motion demon zombies from their backyard. It's more of a hole or a pit than a gate, but, whatever. That's nitpicking here. The star of the show, besides young Stephen Dorff, who still kind of looked like the same even from the jump, is the effects of this movie. The practical effects in this movie, stop motion effects, are fantastic. It's just like, why did we ever go to CGI? I really don't know, because it looks so good in this movie. There's a lot of like pretty crazy like gore, just in different colors. So because of that, it's PG-13, which is still kind of a rule today with things like Badlands that just came out. But like overall, the plot of this movie is not all that important to me. Wasn't all that important to me watching the movie. That's like a perfect, unwinds movie. Though, like it is really all about the vibes in this one. Like it is like, I think it's better than Stranger Things without ever seeing Stranger Things. So I've never watched Stranger Things. I don't know, but this is my Stranger Things. There's monsters under the bed. There's, like a demon battle in the finale that's just fantastic. And like the whole time they play it pretty straight. There's also like a really interesting angle with one of the characters, Terry, who, is like the one who's like responsible for wanting to dig up these geodes to get $100 cash, which is a lot of money back in 1987. But like there's some interesting angles with him and missing his dead mom. Which I think were done rather well. I wish I would have had this movie growing up, to be honest with you, because like, I do think I would have related to a lot of the themes. I still have a dead parent, had a dead parent growing up. And most of the time when dead parents were featured in movies, it wasn't done very accurately. And I think it was done rather authentically here with how, part of how these demons mess with Terry is by replicating his mom and making him knowing that he'd do anything to see his mom just for another second. It's like pretty deep stuff, which I think the best like movies that are great for kids, but also like you grow up with and you pick up more themes as you go. I think The Gate could be another one of those. I just came to it a little bit too late, but didn't really keep me from enjoying it. I think this is a really good movie. It's, just packed with 80s hairstyles, like good 80s party when the parents leave, 5 minutes after the parents leave. Every kid in, the whole school is at this house. Like, I like the dynamics of the three kids. There's not a lot I disliked about this one. I just don't know a whole lot about the plot. So let's go ahead and get to the rating, because what more can I really say? Yeah, I mean, I think 90% of people would say this is a perfect gateway horror movie. I will join those 90%. I really had a good time with this one. The practical effects definitely are going to up my score significantly. I'm going to give it 3.5 leaves out of 5 here. This is just short of, 4 for 1. I just got to it too late in life. And it's not one I could see myself revisiting, but I think if I grew up with it, had an attachment to it, maybe I would feel differently, but who knows? But we are moving on to the letter H. Letter H next week, I'm doing The House by the Sorority, The House on Sorority Row. I'm going to get the title right next week, but I've heard good things about it. And so if you want to get ahead, that's the movie we're watching. I believe it's on Prime and a few other streaming services. But that's going to do it for this week's Aaron Unwinds. I want to thank everybody who is checking out this show at this point. You all mean a lot to me. And here's everything else coming up on the channel that you can check out.